Welcome to the Mischief. I'm Valen, and this is Moonlighter, a game that's similar to, I don't know, maybe some Binding of Isaac meets Stardew Valley meets old school Zelda top-down, but it's got a really nice feel to it. It's very different from your standard, and it's got a really nice mix of things. It's brought to you by 11-Bit Studios, who donated this key to me so that I could bring this to you. So let's get into Moonlighter. I have played a little bit of it just so that I can get a feel of it and understand what's going on, but we're going to start a new game. Among the stars of the night there's a land as old as imagination. One night, mazes full of extraordinary treasures and deadly creatures appeared in this land. They called them the dungeons, strange, ever-changing ruins of unknown lands. Soon a village of the slightly curious took root near the dungeons. This they named Renoka. Among the settlers, two groups shined brightest, heroes and merchants, glory and riches. But the dungeons proved too dangerous. They were soon closed, as too many lives were lost in their depths. Life became hard for the town, especially for the young owner of the oldest shop, Will of Moonlighter. Long dreaming of opening the mysterious fifth door of the dungeons. And this is you, Will. Will Moonlighter, or of the Moonlighter. He's a determined little guy. And you have your different options available to you. At the top are directions on how to proceed. I am already familiar with using the thumbstick. I'm using a controller in this case, and yes, I can roll and tumble, even across gaps, even across very large gaps. And then we've got these bad guys that we need to get past as well, that you can also tumble across, including bullets, as well as different projectiles you can escape from. Now you have a broom, because of course you're a merchant. you clean shops. You're not known for your fighting prowess per se, or at least not equipped as an adventurer might be. But you can find lots of goodies in pots, as is the case with most of these top-down types of games. The music in this is absolutely gorgeous. I love it, and it really brings a good depth to the situation, as well as the art style is fabulous. I love pixel art, and this really gives a good feel to that as well. Of course, I'm not exactly very strong because I'm hitting a walking shrub right now with a broom. But in the end, I do prevail, and these are some of the chests you can have access to. As you can see, there are various goods that may be in here. Of course, you can just move them all over, as such, and you'll have to kind of inventory prioritize as you go. Now, if you want to know about the different things, you potentially could research some of them, because you are a merchant, after all, which will come into play shortly thereafter. But for now, let's just get ourselves a few more goodies and continue on, shall we? Uh-oh, we've got some trouble now. And there are a lot of these portals, and everything seems to have a lot of health. And I can't seem to really dodge very many of these things. Oh my gosh, I'm trying. But these things all have a lot of health. Oh my gosh. And there's a giant rolling balls, and oh my gosh, this is not going well. And I don't think that I can actually stop these spawners, because I can't even injure them. Yes, it's not looking good for our merchant hero, Will. In fact, you can fall down and still take damage. Oh, look at all the goods. All the goods were lost. But fear not, because our hero survives, even if he is spat out. And this is a friend of the family, come to see what's going on. Xenon. What a sorry-looking kid. All alone now. Rest for a bit, Will. I have you now. And here we are back at the shop, which thankfully Xenon came back and deposited me in my bed. Nice guy. Even as a mere child, barely able to walk, you were curious of the dungeons. And some notes on the table that he's looking at. There's no doubt you carry the same obsession as old Pete. which I'm guessing is either my father or my grandfather. Morning, boy. Did our little merchant bite off more than he could manage? Apparently so. Will, listen to me. The hard truth is this. You are the last of your family, the only one left to run Moonlighter. You can't keep pushing yourself like this. Risking your life on the fifth door nonsense. This fifth door nonsense is foolish. Just leave it. Find some artifacts, then use your pendant to get out of the dungeon. And for Crater's sake, stop using that broom of yours, you daft boy. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this. Like I said, a little bit of a Zelda throwback, yes? It's mine from back in the day. Use it. I have little need for it now. He pulled that out. Did he just pull that out of his beard? That's fantastic. So I got a shield and sword? Now then, get up. You are wasting light. Can't have you neglect the shop all day. Let's see if I can get through your hard head some of that tricks that I picked up from your grandfather so many, many years ago. I guess we'll see. And this is where the game takes a bit of a turn. Yes, it has the combat element that we saw. But it also has another element to it, and that is the shop here. Successfully selling your merchandise takes knowledge of two things. You must know an item's value as well as its demand. Come now, open the shop up and allow the customers in. As you can see, we already have some items for sale over here, which he's going to explain to us momentarily. We open the shop for business, people come in and buy our wares. Or at least they take a look at them and see if they're interested. This lady here definitely was. And I can sell that to her. Did you see that? Best expression you can hope for. The item wasn't too expensive for them and not so cheap for you to lose profit. Be sure to pay attention to your customers' expressions. That's how your grandfather always knew if his prices were fair. And here we've got another traveler come in to check out. They might think, alright, well, oh, he's not too happy about it. I don't think I need to tell you how that item was obviously overpriced. Lesson learned? Finally, be careful of selling a popular item too much. If you flood the market, you'll have to offer cheaper prices on your wares. Point is, charge higher when something is in high demand and in low supply. Take out your merchant notebook. It should hold all the information. You've gathered on discovered wares and artifacts, which actually it's extremely valuable. It's this item here bouncing on the right side of the screen, which is this screen here, and it allows you to see some information, which I'll go over shortly how this really works. But you can see that selling that item for 100 gold pieces was the desired result. Would seem the sun has fallen for the day. I best head off. You'll pick up more on your own. Restoring this shop to its full glory? That responsibility falls to you, not I. It's in your blood, Will. Make us proud. In the meantime, why don't you try out that new sword of yours? Dungeons are more perilous at night, but one can always find better artifacts. Just don't dive too far and use that pendant, boy. Thanks, Uncle Xenon. Go on now, these weary bones of mine must rest. Alright, and here we are in town. Yes, you can run around and explore, and I'm not actually going to be doing that for you. I'm going to be showing you off a little bit on how we're going to proceed. Yes, I have a shield that I can hold up, and I have a sword that I can swing. There we go. And we can just proceed on. Or you could always talk to the different people if you want. Renoka may not be as prosperous as it used to be, but many still visit to pick up a souvenir from Golem Dungeon. Possibly even one from the closed dungeons if we're lucky. Alright, well we're just going to go head on up into the regular dungeon area and try and vindicate everything that we tried to that we failed at before. There are multiple entrances to the dungeons, as you can see. There's the magical fifth one that we must proceed to try and get into. But for now, we're going to read this on Golem Dungeon. And we're going to go in here, because we're a merchant and hero. And we're going in to get some wares so that we can have goods to sell in the morning. Hopefully, not get overwhelmed and die this time. There we are, on the first level of the Golem Dungeon. Proceeding on with care and caution. And yes, I can switch between my sword and my broom, actually. As you can see, sometimes It's a little bit slow to wield some of these. I can't actually move at the same time as swing this sword. There are multiple different types of weapons. Right now, I've got a broom, which gives me a bit of reach. So each one will have different benefits in different situations. In this case, I think the broom will definitely be much better because this guy has a really big sword attack that I don't even want to get close to. I could just take him out by just kind of poking him with my broom for a while. There we go. He drops a whole bunch of goodies. Now if I go into my inventory, I would be able to see the different things that I've gathered. But for now, we're still kind of in a slightly tutorial phase. So we're going to try keep this guy at bay and take these guys out at the same time. Ow! See, I let him get a little too close. And I could always roll away if I need to. But I have to be cautious because there are rocks blocking the pathways on some of these. Now if I could just finish this guy off. And no, I am not a professional by any means. I'm sure you're all probably noticing this at this point. But you can see that I have different abilities here. Just because I'm using the sword, I have a wider sweep. I also have that shield. Well, if I switch over to my broom, which is actually kind of a spear type, I have a charging attack where I can broom people to death. It's quite fantastic. Oh boy, this isn't looking good. Let's switch to the sword. So I've got a nice sweeping attack. You can take all these guys out all at once. Now yes, the items can fall over the edge, as can you, but it will give you a second or two to try and save these items if possible. So, let's proceed on. Ooh, this doesn't look like a very good scene, and there are some items across here. Let's just pick those up real quick. See what we have here. To a person of hopefully far better luck than I, my time is short. I took injury from the strange creature across the room. My pendant all but shattered from the scuffle. Check him out, though. I'd say I fared better than he. He caught me spying on him near the Guardian's room. He dropped a couple items when he fled. One of which is this. Map? Diagram? Whatever it is, I was right. They called me crazy, said old crazy Pete done gone lost his marbles. Guess who Pete is? Might be a slight relation of yours. But I was right. Each guardian of a dungeon must possess a key of sorts. All of them linked to that giant locked door outside the dungeons. The fifth door of Renoka. Sadly, I won't be around to see the door open. To whoever found me, I apologize for the smell. But the diagram should be around here somewhere. Please, open the fifth door of Renoka. These dungeons are not what they seem. Okay. Thanks. Dad? Big boss gonna kill me. I suppose to let them all out. Now I have to chase this weird creature that stole my stuffs. Ah, Big Boss gonna be so upset with little me. And here's the map. We're of course in the bottom left one there. Kind of a teal color. Alright. Well, oh, and we got all sorts of goods. And this looks a little bit cryptic at first, but it refers to the pendant that you have, which is pictured in 3 of the 4 pictures here. Once you've obtained enough monies in the dungeon, you can then use it to teleport back to your house, which is fantastic. Just like now, because I am trapped in this room, and as best I could do, I might be able to like jump off the ledge enough times that I kill myself. But I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to hold B and teleport back home. And it shows you all the enemies you defeated, all the items you gathered and have on you. There we go, back in town. Perfect timing. Good old... I'm going to call this guy my uncle. Good old Uncle Xenon, the young proprietor of Moonlighter has returned. You look intact. Finally learned to use that pendant properly? It's about time, boy. What are you holding? Is that a chart of the dungeons? Where'd you get this? You found old Pete? Dead? See, this is what happens when you chase what's behind that door. Leave it, Will. Just get the artifacts you need from the Golem dungeon, and look after Moonlighter. Now, I noticed some posts on the town board that may interest you. Some shops want to move in, attempt to revitalize this town. Apparently, they need some startup capital first. Would be nice to see some new life in Renoka. Nice indeed. And this is kind of where the Stardew Valley aspect comes in, is that you're actually partial town builder. And it's not just for the local citizens, it's also for yourself. Alright, I'm not going to lie, it's mostly for yourself. But you can take a look at this little board here. You can invest in your own shop. As you can see here, you can upgrade, get another for sale box so that people will have a special discount on their stuff. A special cash register, which encourages people to leave a 10% tip. You can add in a comfy bed, which will increase your overall health because once you sleep in it, you get a health boost. You can add extra space for your items because, yes, you start off with a couple of chests in your bedroom, but that's not going to be enough for very long. And then, of course, you can expand the shop. As you can see here, you've got your original blueprint, and then it expands further and further and further. It's quite interesting, actually. And then the other option is to expand the town. You've got Vulcan's Forge. You can bring in some kind of blacksmith, which can then craft all sorts of weapons and armor. You've got the wooden hat. This lady here could definitely bring in a lot of interesting stuff. It's mostly some weapons as well as magics, I guess. And then you've got some others that may be unlocked as you progress. So it's really interesting how you can invest your monies in this case. But for right now, I only have 100 gold. So let's go do some sales. Now here we have a bit of a shop. Yes, we have a bit of a quandary here. On the left is my inventory that I'm carrying around with me. On the right is the for sale table. Now if I select the item and I press the right trigger, it will actually go to my own notes and show me all the information about here. If you look on the right there, it shows there was a person that was pretty happy about buying this thing for 100 gold. Another person was pretty upset about 200. So let's change the price here and we'll make it maybe 120 and we'll see how that holds up. In the meantime, we can always try and sell some other items that might be of use to us. In this case, I'm going to grab this entire stack and we're going to put this here. I have no idea how much this is going to sell for. I could put it for, I don't know, 100 each, and that would make it 300 gold pieces. Because if I go over to the side here, I've never sold it before. You can say the core or the very heart of a golem. We've found ways to harness the energy, but are unable to create life from it, which is fantastic, but it doesn't really help me because I don't even know. So it's trial and error. You might actually try and sell them something for way too much or way too little. Of course, you could always hoard all these items and not spend any of your monies, therefore allowing you to use these materials to build things, perhaps get yourself some new armor or such. But you will also need money to commission these things to be built. So you might as well try and sell the things that you have access to. In this case, this is what? Some kind of grass, I think it is. Let's take a look here. It is a vine, a strong yet flexible material used by the tangle creatures to protect themselves. Well, maybe I bring this down a bit more. Let's make it 6 gold. So it'd be a total of 60 gold for that, because I think those creatures are really common. These golem guys are a bit tougher to take out. Maybe that's too expensive? I don't know. So I'm just going to put another stack of these over here. And we're going to, there we go, drop it down. And if you've already sold something for a satisfactory price, it will automatically default to the last known satisfactory price, which is pretty cool. So I've got enough sales on here. I'm going to back off and we're going to see what happens once I open the shop. As you can see, we've got a table here. Let's open the shop, see how good or bad we do. All right, first sales coming up. We've got, is that one lady or is that 2 people? I can't tell. I think it's one lady. All right. We've got some people that are just wandering around the shop. Come on, buy something. Time's a ticking, people. All right, we've got someone interested, and hey, she's happy with the increased price to 120 from 100 satisfactory. Oh, he's not happy about the grass. All right, maybe before the other lady gets to the counter, I change the price on this down 1, and I also replace this other spot here. What else do I have? I've got some of these ancient pots. Perfect. Let's grab the entire stack of them, put them here, and we'll sell them for 100 each, because I have no idea what ancient pots are good for. They're beautifully crafted though, so I'm going to try for 100 gold and we'll see how that fares. In the meantime, I'm going to sell this lady her goods and wait for the next person to hopefully buy some goodies. Yes, go for the pots. Go for the pots. Oh yeah, come on. You know you want to. Yes, yes, the pots. They're good. Come, I need your monies. Oh, wow. They like the golem cores, too. Excellent. And there we go. Now, let's see if I can actually sell anything else. I might put an entire stack of these sticks over here as their sticks. I think they're probably going to be, like, really cheap. but we'll see how that goes. I've never sold them before, but they're sticks, and once again, very common. So we'll see how that fares. I could feasibly sell my health potion, but I don't think so. I'm going to keep that, and I'm going to keep some of these other items for myself to use potentially, or maybe I don't know. Well, actually, let's. Wait, what is this thing? I don't even know. It's a glass lens. Focusing magical energy. That sounds expensive. Let's start it at 100, because I can do that. And as time progresses, your lights will start... Ooh, he still doesn't like the price of those vines. All right, we'll lower the price then. There we go. And maybe someone else will... Oh, he liked the lenses, though, which is good, because those are much better. Oh, wait. Sell the stuff, then change the price of the vines. I can't lower them much more, folks. So I hope you like them. Come on. Oh, well, the one person liked the sticks. Maybe she's gonna like the other vines. Come on. Oh, she doesn't like those either. Gosh, darn it. These vines apparently are not worth a single thing. Let's just grab that and put it back. You know what? And I'll only sell this, because obviously these are not going for very much right now. You sure you don't want to buy that other stack? They're dirt cheap right now, lady. Hey, there we go. All right, and I don't think I'm going to sell anything else for the afternoon, so I'm going to close shop. There we go. Everybody out. You know, I don't know where you're going, but you can't stay here. And you can see your sales for the day. We've got a total of $12.90 for our gold, which I think is fabulous. Fabulous. Oh, it's root, not a stick. My bad. I will show you a little bit more about this page here, actually. If I right-click on, let's see, we've got, the vines. We sold some for 2. And you can see on the right there that there's an unhappy face for 3. So there's a very low popularity, a strong yet flexible. So it's not very popular right now. But there might be other items. So for instance, I could go to some of this. The roots here, it doesn't have a low popularity, but it is neutral. So you can see if there's a demand by scrolling through your stuff. There's a demand for golem cores and glass lenses. So I might increase those prices. Might even double it next time. We'll see. Maybe I'm missing out on some stuff. We've got different items and stuff, different tabs that you can go through of the different types of things that you could find, as well as potentially sell off some weapons and armor if you're able to actually afford it. For now, I think I'm actually going to invest in the town and bring in a new visitor. There we go. And we now have a blacksmith in the town, which I can then buy weapons and armors from, as well as potentially sell them. But that's also assuming that I am able, you will know, the one who requested my forge. My name is Andre, Forge Master Extraordinaire. If it's weapons or armor you seek, Vulcan's Forge is the place. Alright, and here we have some different armors that you can purchase or peruse, and you can see each one requires a specific amount of materials in order to craft them. Same thing with the sword and shield combos. You've got some two-handed weapons that you could potentially craft, a spear, you could make some kind of little hand gloves and stuff, a bow, which would be pretty darn nice right now, but I need to have a certain amount of materials. So for now, that might be a little bit out of my depth, but as it's nighttime, that means that there's more loot to be had in the dungeon, which I'm going to go and explore. Now, if you want to, you can definitely explore during town, during the daytime, or even at night, and visit with people, talk amongst them, try and get some clues and information, as well as decide what's best for enhancing your own merchant sales group. In my case, I want to go kill some stuff. So that's exactly what we're doing here. It's going to be basic stuff because we're on first level of the golem dungeon, which, there we go. You can see that some of the stuff was close by. It still gets sucked into me. These are real basic enemies because, yes, you're unfamiliar with all this stuff. So therefore, the game's kind of taking it easy on you. But you might also find things like this, where it's just a little bit of an information room. Today marks my first steps into these mysterious dungeons. They were discovered not far from Renoka, a small and incredibly charming village just north of the crater. And they're quite a unique occurrence. Any number of adventurers may enter a dungeon at once, but no one will adventure together. These dungeons seem to build themselves around the one entering. A unique maze for each person, never the same labyrinth twice. One must ask, though, if no one is currently inside the dungeon, does it even exist? Now these are the questions. Many right now are flooding to these dungeons for their treasure, completely disregarding the inherent danger of the hostile creatures inside, just for some gold, some fame. But not I. No, it's all about the questions for me. Where did these dungeons come from? Why do they constantly shift and change? And why are they filled with unseen treasures? I'm not here for the what. I'm here for the how and why. Now that's a pretty good question to have. And if you notice down on the bottom there, my amulet is kind of glowing. And yes, I'm kind of tapping the B button right now. So if I hit this, you can see that it'll cost me 200 gold. And I can teleport back. So it is allowing me the option to teleport back to town by holding that button. Now, of course, if I get hit while I'm currently holding that button, it will reset itself. So there may be some restrictions in that case. So let's see if I can make myself a little bit of space to try and take this guy out. Back off, buddy. I don't want... No, I don't want your... Go away. Okay, not too bad. And yes, remember, this is really basic stuff right now. It gets much more intense and dangerous as you progress. But as you can see also, just by killing foes in the room, treasure chest opens. And this is our first example of cursed items. Cursed items can still be sold, but while they're in the dungeon, they have restrictions. If you look here, it says item must be placed to the left or right of the bag, which means that they actually have to be in the placement of your backpack. So it's kind of a puzzle game while you're also playing. This must be at the top or bottom. There are others that may also delete things that are in a specific square nearby. So it's a lot of fun and also can be a bit challenging at that case too. Now this is a famed thing. These are wonderful. These are healing springs. You just sit in there and you can heal yourself up of any wounds that you have. Why? Why do our tools keep disappearing? Chambers full of precious stone are left untouched, but rooms and chests holding our most basic tools keep vanishing. Curious indeed. And here we have some foes. Oh boy. And I just bounced that guy away because he got a little too close for my likings. See if I can actually take this guy out before the other ones get too close. Oh boy. And can I switch to my broom? Yes, I can. Good thing it's got a little bit of an area to it. Even if it is a bit further away. Oh, all the goodies. Oh no, my inventory is full and one of those items fell off the ledge. Oh, my bad. I did a very bad thing there. I did not empty my inventory before I actually picked everything, went into the dungeon. Things need to be learned here, folks. So, what items to get rid of? Or, rather, I can combine them together. So, let's try and do this again. There we go. Looks like I don't have these, what are they, water lamps. Ooh, those look like they might be expensive. So let's try and get rid of these instead here. We'll just move those. I guess I need to make space. There we go. Now it should. There we go. We've got it. We're just going to leave a couple of these roots behind. Okay. Now, I might as well continue on one more room. Oh boy. And see what we can come up with. These guys are annoying. They will pick up items that are on the ground and potentially destroy them. So you need to ensure that you take them out before all the items are destroyed. Oh, and once again, I've got items sitting around on the ground. As I'm one for variety, I figure I might as well... those golem cores went really well, but... Oh, and I can't combine these two stacks because they're different kinds. Oh, the vines are not in demand, though, so I could potentially kind of get rid of these ones. So if I go over to this chest, and I deposit some of these vines here... There we go. And then head back up to go get those items. There we go. Now I don't need those extra vines or the other... What were they? Roots or something like that? But no worries. I can continue on, keep going, until I'm ready to return. In this case, I see an enemy I don't even want to fight. I'm just going to teleport back to town. And you can see all the enemies that were slain, opened up a couple chests, used the pendant, and we got a whole bunch of loot. As you progress, there's actually a lot of story that's unveiled, and you develop the area as you go, kind of Stardew Valley-esque. I really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. And for that, I think I'm actually going to leave you guys here. I think that there's so much more to this game. It's meant to be played over a longer period of time than what I have here. So, be sure to give a like, comment, subscribe, and as always, be sure to spread the mischief to others if you think that they'll enjoy this kind of content. And thanks again, 11-Bit Studios, for continuing with this great content that you guys have made. They're also the makers of such games as This War of Mine, Frostpunk, Children of Morta, and more. So, I'll see you guys next time.